It's A-plus mock draft time once again here in the Sportsocracy at ESPN Draft Nerd. Jeremy Green has put together the perfect class here for the Green Bay Packers. They got the 15th overall pick in the draft. We know the post-Aaron Rodgers era is coming.
Yeah, and we need to get to that first. A, I love this class for Green Bay. B, you're going to move Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be for a second-round pick this year and a conditional pick next year. I haven't moved off that. Nothing has changed. Could that pick next year be a first-round pick? Yes, but there's going to be a condition on it.
All right, and in this scenario, you've got him getting the 43rd pick.
They get 43 here and that 24 conditional pick from the Jets.
Indeed. So let's get it started here. Number 15 overall. Who will the Green Bay Packers select?
Darnell Wright, offensive tackle out of Tennessee. It's a kid they brought in on a private top 30 visit. He has been screaming up boards. And I look at Green Bay, I like Zach Tom a lot. I just don't know that right tackle is going to be where he fits. For me, I would rather slide him into the inside, have Bakhtiari, and have Zach Tom as that right tackle if I need him. Or the left tackle. He's played everywhere on the line. I need a consistent at tackle because I don't really know what I'm getting out of Bakhtiari. And Darnell Wright is a guy that's just screamed up boards because the more you watch him, when he's played his natural position, which is on the right side, he's been a high-level player. There is a misconception that right tackles are not treated that way in the league. They are. And this kid's going to go in the top 20, and I think it's at 15 of the Green Bay Packers.
In the second round, the first of their two picks in the second round after the Aaron Rodgers trade, the Jets pick at number 43. They'll take Adetomiwa Adeboare.
You got it right.
Yeah, edge rusher out of Northwestern.
It's another kid they brought in on top 30 visit, had a ridiculous workout at the combine. Sub 4.5 at his size. He's a 3-4 defensive end to me. And I've said this before, the Kalijah Cansey comparison to Aaron Donald, it's lazy because they go to the same school and they're built similarly. If there's a player in this class that can be that impactful, it's Adeboare. But he's very scheme-specific. I love him in Green Bay. They love him as well. And I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm not sure the Aaron Rodgers deal doesn't get done in the second day of the draft. As they see this kid falling, going, that's the one we want. I know they're high on him. It's just a question of, does the board fall the right way? Because there's a possibility that Green Bay goes, you know what, the board didn't fall the way we wanted it to. The guys we wanted are not there. The hell with it. We'll take a first-round pick next year. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets were willing to come off that with nothing else.
At number 45, Green Bay takes Darnell Washington, the tight end, out of Georgia.
This is a guy that you know quite well. There, Mr. Bulldog with your Boosie's hat, that looking like a truck driver. The problem I have with him is that the production's never been there. I had a scout in the league tell me that they're viewing Darnell Washington as a swing tackle with hands.
Yep, fifth offensive lineman.
Because he's the best blocking tight end in this class. It's not even close. The thing that bothers me about him is that I never saw the production at Georgia. Then you get into they ran a lot. They threw to Brock Bowers a lot. So he basically was the second tight end on his own team. Might have been a top 5 tight end in the country, and he was the second best one on his team. And it wasn't really all that close because Brock Bowers is special. I have compared him to Mercedes Lewis because that's who I see. I think he is Mercedes Lewis when he went into Jacksonville with a much higher receiving upside.
All right, number 78 overall in the third round, Green Bay Packers taking Nick Herbig, linebacker from Wisconsin.
This is where you start getting into I know the local guy's better. Wisconsin, obviously the local scouts have a better eye on him. He's a really high-level blue-collar motor pass rusher. I'm just not 100% sure where he's going to play in the NFL. I think he's best suited as a 3-4 outside linebacker. There are some teams that see him as a true off-ball linebacker. I'm just not sure I see that. You know, the 4.6, 540 is not doing much for me. He's a little thin, but he's got such a high motor. And I'm not sure that he doesn't just come into the league and the athleticism and the drive is enough to get past the fact that maybe he doesn't have the ideal body type. He strikes me as a Trey Hendrickson that just every year he's going to get better, and the next thing you know, he's a really high-level pass rusher in this league.
The Packers pick in the fourth round comes at 116. Brandon Joseph, safety from Notre Dame.
This is the first player in this class that I don't definitively know that they have been hot and heavy on. I love this kid. You're going to have to throw the Notre Dame tape out. He did not fit at Notre Dame. We did this last year with Kyle Hamilton of the tape I've seen on him is so good that I don't care that he's not as fleet of foot as you want. He's one of the best deep safeties in this class. You just have to understand that, he had 10 interceptions, 6 of them were the previous year at Northwestern. And so I watched that tape and go, that's a guy that was a first-round pick coming into this year. And I hate to say I'm just burning the tape, but it was always clunky. From the first time I saw him on the field in Notre Dame, I went, there's something about this is just not going the way I want it to. I think he's a perfect fit in Green Bay and would be a great value at 116.
So far, no wide receiver taken by the Green Bay Packers, but hold your horses, folks. Here comes one in the 5th round, the first of 2 picks in the 5th for Green Bay. 149 overall, Dontavian Wicks, wide receiver from Virginia.
You remember that thing I just said about Brandon Joseph where you really need to burn the tape from last year?
Mm-hmm.
Dontavian Wicks, it fits the same mold. Because you had Brennan Armstrong and this high-flying offense the year before at Virginia. Last year, they couldn't score in a whorehouse if they were wrapped in hundreds. So, yeah, your big play threat wide receiver doesn't look as good as he did the year before. If there is a day 3 receiver that turns into a star, Dontavian Wicks is to me, has one of the highest percentages of that. I like the Maryland guys. I like a few other guys that you can get on day 3. Dontavian Wicks has the body, the big playability. He's going to fall because people are holding last year against him. I don't think you should. It was a complete – watching Virginia year over year, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. Bronco Mendenhall, who was not a great offensive guy, leaves, and the offense left with him. They bring in Tony Elliott, and all of a sudden they can't score. This is a high-level receiver. Now, why did I wait so long to take a receiver? Because your top 3 guys are second-year players. How many young guys do you want in a receiving corps? I don't think that's how you help this team. If I'm Green Bay, I'm looking for a vet after June 1. Who that is, I don't really know. Odell Beckham would have made a lot of sense, but he wasn't signing up to play with Jordan Love. So I want a vet guy, and then I'll take a risk on somebody like Dontavian Wicks, another player they had in on a top 30 private visit.
170 overall in the 5th round. Antonio Mafi, guard from UCLA.
He's a house. He's going to help you in the run game immediately. I think he has a higher upside. He's just going to have to learn to stop reaching in pass pro. He is an exponentially better run blocker right now than he is pass protector. And so it's going to take some time. But I think if you're patient, he could be a really high-level player in this league. Another guy they had on a top 30 visit.
In the 7th round, they've got 4 picks. So firing away at the deep depth here in the draft. 232, Marte Mapu, safety from Sacramento State.
And I'm going to go ahead and save myself from saying this. Every player I'm getting ready to talk about, they've had in the building. Marte Mapu he's a project. This is going to be one of those comparisons that you go, wait a minute. He kind of reminds me of Darius Leonard.
Okay.
Because he played at a small school. And this is a Lance Zierlein comparison. It's just once I heard it, I couldn't unhear it. He played at a small school, so you don't know about the level of competition. He was a little bit of a tweener body-wise. And then Darius Leonard just comes in the league and starts blowing everybody out of the water. I could see him doing the same thing. He is a linebacker to me. I don't think he can play safety in this league because I don't think he's fast enough. But there's a lot of heavy hitter project linebacker here. He's been super popular during this process.
Wide receiver at 235, Cole Tucker out of Northern Illinois.
He's one of the biggest slot guys in this league because I don't think he has the raw athleticism, the straight line speed to play on the outside, even though he's 6'2". He's just really tough. He to me, he's like an inflated version of Julian Edelman because athletically, it's really not there.
Mm-hmm.
But he has no fear. Goes over the middle, doesn't really matter, never goes alligator arms. I mean, there's a couple different clips of him where he just gets absolutely dusted over the middle. Pops back up, first down, let's go. And he's a late project because I think his ceiling is pretty low. Never plays on the outside, but he could be a valuable safety blanket, especially going into an era where you have a quarterback that you don't really know what you're getting.
The Packers' penultimate pick here, 242 overall, Rajon Wright, cornerback from Oregon State.
This is the brother of Nashawn Wright that was a third-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago, and they kind of remind me of each other. In terms of sheer body frame, this kid looks like he should go in the first 2 rounds. The high-end tape of him looks like he should go in the first 2 rounds. Then you see the rest of it. And it's just inconsistent. And there were times that I swear it was almost like he saw a butterfly. And just, oh, shit. But look how pretty. Oh, fuck. Oh, there it goes. Not going to do anything about that now, am I? But the high end is really good. And for me, that's what I want to do late in the draft. I'm taking lottery tickets. You know, I want the guy that I'm either going to hit a home run or he's not going to make the roster. And I would say Rajon Wright's best outcome is probably to be on the practice squad next year and really round off the technique, round off the form, and hope that 2-3 years down the line you've really hit something.
And lastly, at 256, Evan Hull, running back from Northwestern.
I love this kid so much, it's ridiculous. He's one of the best receiving backs in this league. I have said I think he's a poor man's Austin Eckler because the measurables are not there. He's small. He needs to get more decisive. But then you just watch him and go, God almighty, this kid works hard. He's that blue-collar running back. He had 50-some-odd catches in the last year at Northwestern, played some fullback, lined up at quarterback. I mean, the kid can do damn near anything, and he's just a toy. Do I ever think he gets to an Austin Eckler level? No. But he is that move piece that can play in the slot. You can play for his size, he's a pretty good pass protector. I mean, I'm not telling you it's a super plus, but he's one of those that you're not going to instantaneously know he's coming out of the backfield because he can stay in. Now, the big, gigantic pass rushers will run through him like a hot knife through butter, but he is that extra layer of protection, can run out on delays, and he plays really hard.
6 picks in the 5th and the 7th rounds for the Green Bay Packers, so a lot of ability for them to add some depth to this team. You're building around Jordan Love, so you got to go. You got to try to protect the guy, and that's why you started with Darnell Wright and threw in some other blockers as well.
And that's the thing. This for me would be an A++ class that you walk away and go, all right, we got good value for Rodgers. There's another pick coming next year. We're building the team out. We're seeing what we have in Jordan Love, and we hope it works out. If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, if you just want to tell me why the Jets are going to have to give up 13 for Aaron Rodgers, in spite of the fact I've told you 1,000 times they won't, feel free to do that in the comments. We will have one more team mock draft coming out next week, which is my 7-round projection for how the 2023 draft goes, and we will cover every pick of it live right here on YouTube.
Like the video, share it with your friends as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us every time we're live here in the Ingles studio, and we will see you on draft night.